Today, we are going to be answering a question that I am frequently asked. Can you be insulin resistant if you have normal blood sugar? Insulin resistance is when the cells in your muscles, fat, and liver no longer respond to insulin correctly and cannot easily take in the excess glucose from your blood. This causes side effects such as excess abdominal fat, skin tags, and dark patches of skin, and can also lead to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, PCOS, and more. But it can sometimes be difficult to know if you are insulin resistant or not. Doctors do not often test fasting insulin, but rather they only look at fasting glucose instead. On my video, 11 signs and symptoms of insulin resistance, I have had so many people comment saying that they have multiple or even all of the symptoms, and yet their blood sugar is normal. So does this mean they are not insulin resistant? So in today's video, we're going to answer that question and talk about how to know if you are insulin resistant or not. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate. I'm a health coach and I post videos on a high-fat, nutrient-dense way of eating. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, feel free to share, and make sure to subscribe. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook where I share new posts every single day. Today's video is sponsored by 𝘖𝗟𝗏𝗾𝗖𝗏, a genetics testing and analysis company that gives you personalized health recommendations based on your genes. To check them out, head to healthcoachkate.com/𝘖𝗟𝗏𝗾. We're going to start off today answering the question, can you be insulin resistant if your blood sugar is normal, and talk about why this is, and then we will get into how to know for sure if you are insulin resistant or not. So this is a question that I am asked a lot, and I'm not going to build up the suspense too much before giving you the answer. The answer is yes, you absolutely can be, and here's why. Insulin resistance isn't just something that you either have or don't have. It occurs on a spectrum. At the lower end of the spectrum, you will have someone who is just starting to experience symptoms. Maybe they are having difficulty losing weight and they've just started to get some skin tags. But even so, their fasting blood sugar is within the range that is considered normal. And at the opposite end of the spectrum, you have someone with type 2 diabetes, whose fasting blood sugar is through the roof, and who requires insulin or other medication in order to keep it stable. People on both ends of the spectrum are experiencing the same issue. Their cells are not responding to insulin correctly. However, the person with type 2 diabetes is far more insulin resistant. In the early stages of insulin resistance, your cells are resisting the insulin and not taking in blood glucose immediately. But then your body is producing more insulin, and this excess insulin is enough to keep your blood sugar normal. But as your cells start to resist insulin more and more over time, more and more insulin is being released, and eventually there becomes a point where it is no longer able to keep your blood sugar in check. And at this stage, your blood sugar is going to be within the range that is considered pre-diabetes. And as more and more time goes on, eventually it will be in the type 2 diabetes range. So for someone in the early stages of the spectrum, their blood sugar is going to be normal, but their insulin is going to be elevated. Of course, this makes it pretty obvious how you can determine if you are insulin resistant or not. Simply get a fasting insulin test from your doctor. However, this is easier said than done. Most doctors do not understand that insulin resistance precedes type 2 diabetes, and so they routinely only check fasting blood sugar. And if your doctor is not willing to test your fasting insulin, one option if you're in the United States is you can head to 𝘖𝗟𝗏𝗾𝗄.com. They actually have a lab shop, and one of the tests they offer is fasting insulin. I will put the link that goes directly to that test in the description box down below. Now, if you are outside of the US, there is another really strong indicator that you can get from a lab test that you most likely already have. And I'm going to let you know what that is in just one moment, but first I'm going to take a quick second to tell you about today's sponsor, 𝘖𝗟𝗏𝗾𝗖𝗏𝗏. 𝘖𝗟𝗏𝗾𝗖𝗏 is a genetics testing and analysis company that gives you personalized health recommendations based on your genes. We all have a different set of genes, and understanding our genetic predispositions can help you to understand whether your diet and lifestyle choices are working for or against you. 𝘖𝗟𝗏𝗾𝗖𝗏𝗏's wellness reports provide you easy to understand risk assessments and health suggestions based on your genetics. Each report features a comprehensive list of genes related to each health condition. Their blood sugar wellness report can show you if your genes put you at an elevated risk for higher blood sugar levels. If you already have a DNA test you've done through another company, you can upload your file directly to 𝘖𝗍𝗏, and if not, you can always order a DNA kit from them. And 𝘖𝗍𝗏 has just released a new update where all of their wellness reports now look at even more genetic variants. And if you want to check out 𝘖𝗍𝗏 and find out what your genes can tell you about your health, you can head to healthcoachkate.com/𝘖𝗍𝗏, and I will put the link in the description box down below. Thank you again to 𝘖𝗍𝗏 for sponsoring this video. So now let's get back into the other way you can tell if you are insulin resistant, and that is by looking at your triglyceride to HDL ratio. So you want to get your triglyceride number and divide it by your HDL number. This is a really strong indicator of insulin resistance, as having high triglycerides and low HDL are both highly associated with it. A ratio under 1.9 is considered optimal with good insulin sensitivity. A ratio between 2 and 3 indicates some insulin resistance, and a ratio over 3 means you are very insulin resistant. Now, it is really important that you do this calculation in milligrams per deciliter and not millimolars per liter, and I will put a link in the description box down below where you can do this conversion and the calculation, and yeah, this website just makes it really easy. Now, before I wrap up, I just want to say that it is more than likely that you are insulin resistant. And how can I say that? How can I possibly know that? I can say that because metabolic syndrome is the same thing as insulin resistance. Metabolic syndrome actually used to be called insulin resistance syndrome. And in the Western world, the rates of metabolic syndrome are extremely high. Over 80% of American adults have it, meaning that over 80% of American adults are insulin resistant. But now for some good news. Insulin resistance is reversible. And if you want to know some steps you can start taking to reverse your insulin resistance, I have a whole bunch of other videos on my channel that I will link to above. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are insulin resistant. And remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And one final thing, remember to check out 𝘖𝗍𝗏 if you're interested in knowing the role that your genes play in your health. The link will be in the description box down below. If you did like this video, you can also check out my video that I just mentioned on how to reverse insulin resistance. It will be right here. If you want to check out my most recent upload, you can find it here. And if you want to check out my keto diet and carnivore diet coaching programs, you can find them here. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.